This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my review of Batman Beyond. I am only going over the show episodes in the base show. I am not going over any episodes he appeared in JLU, which I reviewed last week, and the same with Static Shock. But also, I will not be reviewing the Return of the Joker movie. I will be reviewing that tomorrow, along with the other 3 DCAU Batman movies that released around the time. So, going over all of that, I think it's time to get in. And yeah, this is definitely a great DCAU show, and a great show overall. In the continuity, I'd have to give it third place, as I mentioned last week, with first place going to Batman the Animated Series, and second going to Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Although this is a sequel to Batman the Animated Series, it's not as a direct continuation as something like The Adventures of Batman and Robin, or the New Batman Adventures were to that show, since they were still following the base storyline with the same characters, and this one really only follows from the original animated series Batman, Barbara Gordon, well, Batman I mean Bruce Wayne, because of course Terry McGinnis is Batman in this one. So Terry McGinnis, Barbara Gordon, Mr. Freeze, Bane, and then Talia and Ra's al Ghul. Those are the only ones that are really making appearances in this, although there are a few other ones that do appear in stuff like Return of the Joker, and some other from the DCAU like Superman. With this, I am really impressed that really it was just mainly original DC characters being used, and I really like that. They were creating, either their own villains or doing twists in other ones, and the only returning Batman villains was really limited. I think that was very impressive, and I like them having just really new stuff for everyone. And looking at really everything, I'm going through some of the episodes. We have first off an interesting villain in Blight being created, and him holding together the first season very well, where he is usually the through line in almost all of the episodes. Although there are a few, like Gollum, Heroes, and the Royal Flush ones, where they really don't have anything to do with Blight, although he is pretty much a through line of the first season. I'd say, looking at it now, about half of them are involved with him, and the other ones are independent villains. And some of them are independent villains that will continue from the previous events. And that's all really interesting. We also have some very interesting antagonists, going to the ones that you don't traditionally see. There is Ink. There is, well, the Golem, and I don't remember the name of the kid, Willie, who controls it. You get a great one to kind of like get you sort of into the mood with Mr. Freeze appearing, but also tying into the Powers and Blight storyline. And then you do get Heroes, which is similar to a JLU episode, although it did come out first. since I believe it was still 1999, I think. I think that's when the show came out, or was it early 2000s? Like 2000, 2001, but JLU hasn't started by this point, so it does have a similar episode, although I'm fine with that. When the real Flush Gang is introduced, is also interesting. I think a Spellbinder was a nice and unique villain, and I like how everything ended up with light in the end. And it had a really solid first season. We get season 2, which is the longest. We get a lot more things interested, including the splicing, which becomes a more minor threat throughout it, but it's still interesting. We get the one where it's the AI, the creator of a company. Interesting for the Jokers, but also we have his friend Max figuring out he is Batman, just so he has someone else to be with him and to talk to when Bruce Wayne isn't there. We have another one where they have the one Hunter come after him. It is a very similar to Craven. He's the stalker, but it was interesting. There's some more stuff with the Real Flush Gang, and some more stuff with VR and Spellbinder. One I personally didn't like with I remember his name he was called Rat Boy. And then we have another one with just some fun stuff. There's I don't fully love it's with like the brain trust. Still thought it was okay though. And then another interesting one with I don't know what's the name with Shriek is Babel, where everyone is getting their voices changed. One thing that was only kind of funny in the end was one where Terry's friend dates a robot. There's one where Kiari from season 1 gets her revenge. Another interesting one is the Rachel Ghoul one. And yeah, I think it's in season 3, but I was just thinking of that one. Looking at the rest, there's a lot more, Interesting one, there's the setup for the Zeta show, but that one's can only be bought, so I'm not gonna really watch it. And there's a nice one with Ace the Bat Hound. And then one kind of making fun of both Star Wars and kind of Lord of the Rings with Centuries of the Last Cosmos. And then finally, the third season is short but sweet. There is a few big events that happen, including the Rachel Ghoul storyline, the Call, which is an interesting one. There's two with his friend Big Time, and I don't think those were my favorite ones, but something was interesting to see his friend and how he went to jail or the juvie. And there's Curse of the Cobra, which I think was also okay. Another crossover with the Zeta Project. And then a pretty underwhelming series finale, although I'm pretty sure they didn't intend it for the series finale. And just learned that their season was canceled. Or the episode Unmasked. And yeah, I think that still it was really good. I really do enjoy the show. And I want to know what you think. Batman Beyond is definitely such a great show. And mainly because it is shorter and didn't have new seasons added on with the show being returned. I don't rank it above Justice League Unlimited, and Justice League Unlimited is so strong of a show that it's already competition enough. I still want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. I'll see you all in the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.